morning, Quadcopter 101 here. What I got for you today is a review of the new Feilun FX122C3. Now, the 122C3, as you can see here, is a pusher quadcopter. The motors are inserted upside down, and the quadcopters are pushing upward instead of having the propellers on top. I don't know what the advantage of that is. I think it smooths the air out some. There's no buffeting of the downwash from the propellers on the surface of the quadcopters, so hopefully that will mitigate buffeting. But it does bring the quadcopter or the propellers closer to the camera, so it might show up on the camera. Now, this comes with a little 0.3 megapixel camera. It's not a great camera. I'll show you in post editing here the results of the camera. But this camera mount that it has can hold a GoPro. So that is the advantage of this thing. This is a cheap GoPro lifter. This is one of the cheap GoPro lifters available out there, similar to this SEMA X8 models. I guess this is to compete with the X8 models is the intent of this thing. But again, it is not a high definition camera, even though it says HD. So let's go over the transmitter on it. One good thing about the transmitter, all of its buttons are labeled out what they do. This is for taking photos and holding it down for videos. It does have headless mode, which you activate by pressing this button here. It does have rates, which you activate by pressing this button here. I don't think it does flips. I'm not sure what this button does. It's not marked, but there was no indication in the directions that this will do flips. And finally, this is very important, folks. You bind it by turning on the quadcopter, moving the throttle up and down like all others. But to arm the motors, to get the motors moving, that they'll move, you have to arm them, and that is to bring both sticks down and to the left. It will not go into idle, but that will arm the motors by holding it there, and then you can start the quadcopter up, start the motors up. Now, this does not have altitude hold, so again, don't expect it to be the motors to be idling when you start it up. Let me push this in a little bit more to make sure it's in there. So let's start the quadcopter up. It has an on-off switch, which is right there. And make sure I got power to the camera. I got power to the camera. And starting up the quadcopter's transmitter, binding it to the quadcopter, and starting the video recording by holding that button down there and making sure that the is changed and it is recording. And I guess the back lights blink also to let you know that it's recording. And now again, we're going to arm the motors by down and to the left. And now I can start up the motors. Let's go for its first flight and see how it performs. Now again, this does not have altitude hold, folks. So you are going to manually fly this thing. Let's go up high. And to the left, let's go upwind too. I got a wind to my left shoulder here. We're going to have to go to higher rate also. Fast, slow. Oh, there's 3. Position 3 we're going to need today to fight that wind. And we'll go upwind a bit more. Come down a little bit lower too. And then let the wind blow it back. This is purely the wind bringing it back toward me. Flying by. Again, it does not have any altitude hold on it. I was just flying altitude hold quadcopters. So we'll go up higher this time. Show its camera, but it should be capable of lifting a GoPro. So if you're looking for a cheap GoPro lifter, this might be one for you. Let's do a rotate of the area, letting the wind blow it back. Going by me. Okay. If I tried everything, headless mode. I can't remember which direction I was pointing at, but let's see if this is it. No, that's not headless mode. I guess I got a, oh, that was fast slow button I pressed. Coming back toward me. Got to use 3. Let's try that headless mode again. Okay, that's headless mode. And I'm using the headless mode to do some panning. And turning headless mode off. I'm not a fan of headless mode, folks. I'm sorry. Okay, let's land it for a second because I want to make sure I got video. So stopping the video. And starting it back up again. There's a hawk up there. Let's see if he is interested in my quadcopter. How's the lights on my quadcopter? I can't see lights on it. Oh wait, they're blinking. They are blinking, folks. Stopping the video. Oh, they blink when it's recording, when the camera's recording, so that is confusing. So let's fly it closely for the remainder of the flight. And that should be the camera, video camera. They blink when the video camera records. Okay, that's it, folks. It ran out of power and it descends when it runs out of power. Stopping the video camera. So, that is the Feilun FX122C3, and that's the flight time you get with the FX122C3. Again, its camera is probably not very good. We'll find out here in post-production. But again, the big advantage of this thing is this is a cheap, could be a cheap GoPro lifter for you. You know, replace this cheap camera with a GoPro. So I hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.